Okay, hey buddies. So we're in my kitchen again, and we're about to make really awesome, I call them perfect pancakes, because they just come out really well. And I find that a lot of times when people try to make healthier version of pancakes, they just come out really like healthy tasting. They're like, oh, this is not interesting. Anyways, sorry. The light. I'm going live later today than I normally do, so the light's in a funnier place. So let me just give you a little intro. I'm Shana Cameron. I'm a nutritionist, and I'm the moderator and curator of this group, Super Simple Nutrition Hacks. And I'm so glad to have it because my real passion is really teaching people how to use really simple and delicious food as medicine. That's what I do with my private clients, teaching them how to use just like real simple foods, just like the ones that we make in here. There's nothing like overly fancy or complicated to balance their hormones, lose weight easily, heal indigestion, get rid of like skin issues, boost their fertility, get rid of PMS, really across the gamut, get their blood sugar under control. Anyway, so it's really, really powerful stuff, and it kind of seems like magic because you're just eating healthy, delicious food. That's even easy to make. That's been like my big hack, I find, as a professional, and in here teaching you guys that. So it's really fun to be able to share this with you guys too. So we're gonna make the pancakes now. I'll flip the camera on so you can see the ingredients that I'm gonna put in. There we go. This is the almond flour. No, it's not organic, but it's such a better deal. I'm happy to make the compromise. Like this whole bag, it's 3 pounds and it's like $12 or $13 at Costco. Use a little bit of baking soda with my blender cup. Half a banana. It's like not quite half a banana, but whatever. And we're putting eggs in, and that's gonna be how we're gonna make them. So let me just pop the camera up for a second so you can see. The reason why I do it in a blender is I just find that oh god, the sun, whatever. Okay, I'll bend over. I just find that it works better. So I'm gonna I typed up already, and a lot of you signed up to have it sent to you, and then I'll also post it up here in a second. Like the proper recipe. But anyways, I'm just gonna, so I put the eggs in first. Like that order doesn't really matter, is the truth. Oh, and I also like to put in almond milk or coconut milk. I have almond open right now. Hey, if you're on, say hi. Tell me who you are and where you're from, and what your favorite kind of pancake is. It's a little frozen because I forgot to keep some unfrozen. But anyways, here's the banana. And oh, of course, let me explain as I go. Okay, these pancakes, I'm putting these eggs in. These are my favorite eggs from Trader Joe's. They have a lot more vitamin K and vitamin D and vitamin A. They're great for you. I would not recommend just using the whites. The yolks in these are fabulous. And they are helping your heart, they're helping your brain, they're helping your metabolism and your immune system. So we don't want to skip out on those. So good eggs make a huge difference. Okay, now we have the banana just gives it like a good texture and flavor. It's not too exciting. And then we have the almond flour. So yes, I gave you guys measurements, but just so you know, like I never measure. You probably know that. Okay, I'm also gonna put in a little cinnamon. That's about how I do it. So I'll tell you the truth. See, I always like doing it. I have my big blender, but I really like working in this because then I can like eyeball it. Hold on, let me just grab my cinnamon. You guys want to know the funny story behind this shirt? I don't know if you can read the back. Can you read the back? It's from some pool. It's grabbing the almond milk. Oh, and now that I'm talking to you, I get distracted. Okay, I'm putting in just a little bit of baking soda and then almond milk. Anyways, I got this shirt one time because I went to this there's this kind of really cool pool nearby that has a water slide, but it also has a bunch of really fun stuff for little kids. And they, I don't know, they had some weird rules that I couldn't go in with what I was wearing. And they were like, you can have this shirt. And I was like, okay, fine. So I did. I guess that's not really cool. So sorry. Okay, here we go. So, it's in there. We're going to blend it up. Go! Stop it for 1 second, let it bubble, and then again. Woo. sometimes the texture is not right, so I have to check it. That actually looks fabulous. Okay, this looks like a oh, I forgot to preheat the pan. That's okay. Okay, so let's turn the pan on now. I'm gonna put it on high just so it heats up fast because you're waiting. Look, I'm out of butter. This is my sad little butter dish. Totally empty. I'm probably gonna have to. I'm gonna use some avocado oil because avocado oil. Wanna see my avocado oil? I think I got this one at Trader Joe's. Anyways, it also has like almost no flavor, but it's really healthy for you as opposed to the other flavorless oils are usually very unhealthy. So that's why I'm choosing that one. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it heat up for a second, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the pancakes. So, anyway, can you kind of see the texture? It's nice. It's like not too thick, not too thin. Also, notice that I use, let me show you, the blanched almond flour. Do you see the almond? Does it say blanched on here? It says finely sifted. Whatever. Almond meal is different. So if you just like are new to this and you go to the store and you see some like ground up almonds and you're like, oh, almond flour, I'll try it with that. It's not going to work. The truth is, if you do it in your blender and then your blender will wind up grinding it up more, it'll probably work okay. But almond meal is much more of a coarse grind and also has a different flavor because the skin is still on. And the truth is the skin is pretty hard to digest. Okay, I can tell it's getting hot now. So that's our pan. And I'm going to pour it in. Here we go. Whee! See how it pours just like real batter? And it kind of looks like real batter too because it's like white. Let's see if I turn the light on. Is that better? I don't know if that's better or worse. If one of you responds, then I'll switch it. Okay, but I'm going to turn it down to like 3.5. Give it a little jiggle. Ah! Whatever. Losing its perfect shape, but I think that's okay. And while it cooks, I'll tell you a little bit more. So why do I choose these pancakes over regular ones? So first of all, if you're gluten-free, then I guess it's kind of a no-brainer that you wouldn't do regular pancakes. But I anyways would still choose these over like a gluten-free pancake mix. And that's because, hi! Oh, my husband must be on because he's pressing the button 1,000 times. I can't see who's on right now. For some reason it doesn't show me, but yeah. Yep, it's my husband. Okay. Anyways. Oh, now it is showing me. Who are you? Shani and who else? Why isn't not? Okay, whatever. Anyways, I'm so glad you're here. But I like these pancakes because they're really high in protein and they're really high in good fats. And so that's so much more valuable. Like normally a regular pancake breakfast is rather worthless. If it's just white flour, and especially if you're using like crappy eggs, like there's not really any nutrients in that. But if you're using really good eggs and you're using almond flour, almonds have a lot of magnesium and a lot of other vitamins and minerals and good fats and good proteins. So instead of this being kind of like a treat, I guess I'll let my kids have it. It's actually like really healthy. Like if my kids want this for dinner, I'll do it. And I have no problem with it. I'm not like, oh gosh, I guess it's a treat. Because it has, everything that I want them to be having in it. Like there's no problem with it. So, okay, let's see. See how it's bubbling now? That means it's almost ready to flip. Let's check it. Yes. Letting me get under. Oh, let's see how I do. It's so hard to do this on film. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom! Oh, come on. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay, it broke a little bit, but I am impressed with myself, ladies and gentlemen. And look, doesn't that look like a real pancake? It's so cool, right? I think it's so cool. And again, not only also cooking in a good oil, so it's just like really good. Hey, Sasha. So I'm gonna, I'll get a real plate for you guys. So when I put it on the plate, it can like look appealing instead of like my pathetic plastic, or not plastic. I didn't use plastic, I use paper. Plates. And then I serve it. I normally would put like a pat of butter on top because again, I'm trying to up the good fats. A lot of people are really afraid of fats. Hold on, look at it. It's doing really good. Probably done. Almost done at least. Let's see. And I'm going to turn the fire off just to let it finish actually. And I'm going to put on if you love maple syrup, you can use a little. However, I find that maple syrup is like super addicting, even though it's like a real healthy quote unquote sweetener. Like I buy it, I find it really addicting and it totally spikes my blood sugar. Can I put the recipe in the comments later? I'm going to put the recipe above. So yes, you'll have access to it. I'll put it up there, and then I'll also put a link that you can click if you want it sent to your inbox, which I just offer because I get a lot of messages from people like, hey, I can't find that recipe. Can you post it for me, or can you send it to me? And that just takes a lot of time. So now whenever I post the recipe, I also have the option of getting it sent to your email. So that's a lovely gift you guys get. Okay, so I'm going to call it done now. Let's see. Okay, yeah, look, perfect. The other side is prettier, but look, it's done. Okay, so I'm flopping it on the plate, and then, again, if I had any butter left, I would put a nice, like, square of butter here. We can pretend, bloop, bloop, that I'm putting my butter. And then, I'm gonna do honey just because, for the majority of people, honey does not spike your blood sugar nearly as much as other sweeteners. Also, if you can get away with just putting like berries or bananas on top, that's awesome. And where's my cinnamon? Oh, I took it out already. And cinnamon, like this, also is really good for balancing blood sugar. So even separate from it just tastes great, I also like to always add some more on top, just to help balancing your blood sugar. So there you go. If I had some fresh berries, I'd put it on top for you guys, but ouch, I have the frozen ones, but those don't look as good. Anyway, so that's the magic of it. Oh, and then I'm going to cover the rest of this and then put it in the fridge and let it last for like another day or so. But also, if you don't want to put it in raw like that, you can just make a bunch right now and then put them in the freezer and then like toast them when you're ready. That's also a really awesome grab and go. That's annoying. Breakfast to make your life easier. Isn't that how life is sometimes? Okay. Anyways, what I just want to share with you, like, you know, these little hacks can make a big difference, and it's just a matter of putting your energy into addressing what really matters for you. So like I said, you know, the same recipes I give you guys are it's the same stuff that I teach my clients, except for with my clients, it's personalized to address their specific issues, right? But very often with my clients, I'll be like, oh, you know, have this, have that. The recipe's up on the blog, go for it. And so if you have any health issues that you're concerned about, whether it's skin issues or, you know, PMS issues or, you know, fertility issues, digestive issues, mood issues, and you're like, maybe Shayna could help me, but I don't know. What if it's too hard? What if it's overwhelming? What if it's going to be like too strict? I'm telling you, it's not. It won't be too hard. It won't be too strict. I think if you guys know me at all, like, I'm pretty lazy. And I say that with, you know, the best of intentions, that I won't do things that are hard and time consuming, as you can see. And I'm not going to ask you to do anything that's too hard or time consuming, and everything's going to taste good. I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do. So I just hope this is encouraging for you, that, that you really have so much power on your plate to, was it my husband pressing buttons again? You can make a tremendous difference. Tremendous. You know, a lot of, I've had clients lose 40 pounds. I've had people be able to go, you know, get rid of their PMS entirely. I've had people that, you know, type 2 diabetics, that their blood sugar is entirely under control. They don't need to take their medication anymore. People who their digestive tract was just a mess and they had constant like diarrhea or constipation. I know it's kind of gross to talk about, but like, let's get real, you know? And very quickly, within, you know, a couple days to a couple weeks, depending on what the issue is, we get it under control. And I just share that not only to toot my horn, but toot, but also because I think it's really amazing. And like, I didn't know that existed, you know, 15 years ago. I didn't care about nutrition at all when I was younger. I used to like make fun of my mom that she was like, oh, get the organic. And I was like, oh, it's such a waste. But of course now she like calls me with all her questions. She's like, oh, this is hurting me. What should I do? And then I tell her and it gets better. But also just, I think it's fascinating that it actually makes a profound difference. I think that most of people that don't care about health or don't care about nutrition don't care because they don't think it's irrelevant. Sometimes we don't feel that what we're eating or what we're making really makes the difference anyways. But when I'm sharing this with you, and the reason why I share the testimonials and I share these tips is not just to toot my horn, but because I think it's part of a profound paradigm shift of the actual power that we have to make the difference in our health. That it's not just something that the doctor's going to do for us. Like, doctors are amazing when you need them, but don't come to me with a broken arm. Like, I can't do anything for you. But as far as setting yourself up to be in thriving health, and so that you have a strong, booming immune system, and that you're really enabling yourself energetically, not like energetically woo-woo, but like with enough energy to do the things that are meaningful for you in your life, like that comes down to you. That's literally all in your hands, on your plate. If you're eating what your body needs when it needs it, you will be full of energy, you will be in a good mood, you will be optimistic, you will be able to take a crap whenever you try to. Like, these are things you should not underestimate, because it makes a big difference in the quality of life. And especially me, as a very like spiritual woo-woo wah-wah person, being able to do what's important to me, and I imagine what's important to you, is the game changer. Like, if you're exhausted all the time, your stomach hurts all the time, or you're feeling like you just like don't have the confidence because your skin is really oily or pimply or whatever it is, like we all have our own insecurities, like that sucks on its own, but it sucks even more if you feel like it's holding you back in your life. And I can just tell you, for me, that I'm not like a foodie. I'm not like a person who like loves being in the kitchen. And again, that's something that I felt like I used to like have to hide when I became a nutritionist. But now I realize, like, I feel like it's actually like the biggest asset of like why people like coming to me, is because like I'm always finding like the easiest ways and like the hacks and like how to avoid it. So I think you can maintain your disinterest and put in the minimum effort necessary and just approach it as a secondary goal, which I feel like it is. Whatever your primary goal in life is, that's your number one. And in order to make that happen, you gotta be well. You gotta have the energy to do it. And I would even argue that like your ability to make an impact is directly commensurate to your level of health. And I can just tell you, as a person, like that concept is something that has been life-changing for me, obviously, that now that I work in health. And I think it's really empowering, and I feel like it's a huge paradigm shift. It's not something that people really talk about. Like, if you go to like a, what's it called? Like a motivational speaker seminar, like it's like, they're like, oh, work harder, push harder, which I'm not saying you don't necessarily have to do that sometimes, but I think it's not really about that. I think it's really about nurture yourself, give yourself what you need so that you can do what you want to do. It's not about pushing yourself and you're hungry, but keep going. I think that's the opposite of what you need to do. I think if you're hungry, like, stop and feed yourself. Give your body what you need so that you can be productive all day. Because listen, if you're hungry at lunch and you don't eat lunch, you will be crashing at 4:00, right? And that happens to a lot of you, right? So the idea that we think we're going to push through it to reach our goals is really the opposite of what we need to be doing to reach our goals. So to come full circle, very often these very lofty and essential and even soulful ambitions, a huge ingredient of the success of making that ingredient, you catch that? It's a pun. Okay. Of success of making that happen comes down to the very simple, very practical pancakes in a pan with good oils. This is like the cookies that I made recently. I know they look ridiculous because we just made it. And pancakes, I think it's a matter of like kind of like marrying the different parts of yourself, meaning that you have these super lofty and ambitious things that you want to do, and you also just have a body, and you're also like probably to a degree picky. You want it to taste good. Hey, Kayla. You want it to taste good. You want it to be realistic. You don't want it to take a lot of time. And I think accepting those polarities inside of you and embracing them and then doing everything you can to make it as easy as possible is really the game changer for making progress. I can tell you in my own life, all kinds of progress has been made when I accept the polarities internally of like what I want on one side and what it's going to take to make that happen on the other side, and then just try and find the easiest ways to get there. So when it comes to your health, these quick, easy things that make it easy just make the biggest difference. Like again, you don't need me to tell you like, oh, you guys should be eating more vegetables. Like most people are like, yeah, right? But it's annoying. You don't know how to make them taste good. It takes too long to chop it. Peeling is like the worst. Like I want to make a sweatshirt and have a hashtag like peeling is for losers. I feel like it's a little negative for my style, but I think it's so funny. One of my first clients like years back, like I said it one time and she thought it was so funny, so I'm kind of stuck on it. But just the simple things make all the difference. And so I hope that you take advantage of all the stuff. You know, I'm almost doing this group for a year and I've been going live every single week since January and we're in November now. So I took off 3 weeks in total. One when my grandfather passed, God bless him, and may his soul have a high and beautiful time in heaven along with my grandmother. And he should get a lot of nachas from me because he was a entrepreneur and business person always, and he always was talking about the importance of like taking care of your people and giving to them and making them feel good. And I learned a lot of it from him. And I forgot where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? And you want to comment below with what I was talking about. Just going after what you want and finding the pieces that you need to make that happen. So, take advantage of all of and the other 2 weeks was because my kids were sick and then I lost my voice. But there's a ton of free resources here that you can use to implement. And if you're at a stage where you're dealing with something that you feel like you'd really, really, really benefit and appreciate having me like hold your hand and tell you exactly what you need to do to get exactly where you want to go for your health, then let me know. And I'm more than happy to help you. I love what I do. I promise it'll be fun. And hey, Sarita. And again, it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be overwhelming. It's just like all the stuff that I have in here, that it's like simple, it's yummy, it's easy, and it's going to make your life easier. You're going to have more energy and more inspiration and to have what you want and what you need to make all the other things in your life happen that you want to make happen. So I hope you guys loved this and that it was super helpful. And I'm going to pop off now and then I will post the recipe and the link above this. And if you guys have any more questions, let me know. I'm gonna do a 10-second countdown. 10, 9, because sometimes when people ask questions, it like takes a minute. But okay, I'll talk to you guys later. I guess no 10-second countdown. Goodbye.